Listen, if there's one thing that I want you to do, it's that if I ever make a mistake, big, medium, small, I want you to kill me. Immediately.
Oh, hello, good morning.
Play it one more time. Play it again. Do it.
Really?
I'm vibing. Hurry.
I can't.
Hurry, play the
I
thing.
can't get it to play.
Hurry.
I'm trying.
I'm vibing. I'm losing the vibe.
No, the intro. The
vibe's gone.
The intro won't play again.
No.
There we go. I got it.
No, stop it. Stop it
wait,
now.
stop it now?
No, the vibe is done. We missed the vibe.
Look, it takes a minute for it has to.
We
restart.
done.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. It's too early. Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Saige Ryan.
It's exactly 8 a.m. On the dot, and so it is time for your morning news.
Bijan
If you
is in the
speak
live
to
studio
me-
audience.
I'll ban you. It's 8 a.m.
If you speak to him at all,
Don't
speak
look.
to you,
Don't
they
look
speak to
me.
you at
Don't
all?
look me in the eye. Don't talk to me about it's 8 a.m. I want you to put a little arrow next to yourself in chat and tell us what time it is where you are, and it better be 8 a.m.
Bijan in the live studio audience said, "I think we missed the vibe."
Bijan, you know, here's the thing. We did miss the vibe. We missed the vibe. You got to catch the vibe. The vibe is like the greatest wave. Once every 50 years, the biggest wave comes, like in Point Break. And if you're not there, that's another 50 years.
Sure enough. Thanks for keeping the vibe going, y'all. They are agreeing that it is in fact 8 a.m.
You know what the youth on Twitch loves?
What?
Point Break references.
Yeah.
For the early 90s Keanu Reeves movie Point Break.
Yes, of course. People just can't stop talking about Point Break.
I just like, hey, everybody, could we stop talking about Point Break for 5 minutes and talk about the news, please?
Yeah, right? Do something original.
E3. It's happening.
I've heard of it.
It's happening. It's all digital. They finally, look, there were some worries. There were some concerns.
A look.
A look.
A look.
A look. There were some worries. There were some concerns about the Electronic Entertainment Expo this year.
Sure.
There were rumors that some of it, we all knew that it was going to be an all-digital event because don't.
No, we're still in a Pantera.
We're still in the athlete's foot, and we're not out of the athlete's foot yet. It's happening June 12th through 15th. It's going to be an all-digital event. But there were some concerns that perhaps some of this event was going to be behind a paywall.
I keep hitting my microphone.
Careful that mug.
I'm having a hard time.
Oh, is the
today.
desk giving you troubles?
Tribs?
Weird. They were worried that some of it was going to be behind a paywall.
Yes.
They announced yesterday, no, not going to be not going to be behind a paywall. All free, all streaming, all the time. You're going to be able to watch the whole thing. And they announced some confirmed appearances. We've got Nintendo, we've got Xbox, Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, Koch Media.
Sony? Are you there?
Now, Sony hasn't done E3 for a couple years. And ever since the
Fire Nation attacked?
ever since the Flute Man year, I think we all remember the year of the Flute Man.
Of course.
And in post Flute Man, they have not come back to the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Correct.
I don't think we've talked about this before. I don't think these platform holders need E3 at this point.
No.
Particularly Nintendo, that does such a great job of
With their directs.
Yeah, and just controlling their own message. But it is interesting to see that Sony has decided it's not worth coming back, even for a streaming one.
That's kind of my thought, is with a digital event where you're not having to like send a team out to deal with a convention in a particular state. They could have given them a little something just to be there. They could have given them a crumb.
But you know,
So Sony could just be like, we were there.
But Sony's they're not the only ones that have not been going to E3 lately.
Yeah.
EA, of course, has been doing their own EA Play event off-site during E3.
Somebody called EA and they were like, "Are you gonna come? Why aren't you coming to E3, EA?" And they said, "Challenge everything." In a weird baby voice.
In a weird baby voice is what they said. They said, it's in the game. They said, it's in the game. Square Enix won't be there. Sega, Bandai Namco, Tencent, 505, Activision Blizzard.
Which, like, Blizzard has BlizzCon. That makes sense. Sony puts on their own events. Where does EA?
EA just does EA Play.
Oh, yeah, EA Play.
And it's just a block away because here's the thing. For the same amount of money that EA could rent a booth at E3, they can get you to walk 3 blocks and rent out an entire amphitheater for themselves. So people are starting to question the validity of an electronic entertainment expo in a world where anyone can stream from anywhere.
Right.
And that's fair. I love E3 still has some mystical, magical place in my head, in my heart.
In my hood?
In my heart. Look.
I've never gotten to go.
Look, it's in my heart. Look.
It's in my heart.
It's in my heart. Because just E3 was the thing when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a major goal is like one day I'm gonna go to E3. I'm gonna see all the games.
Yes, that's still how I feel.
I think
I've never been.
You've never been?
No.
Well, why don't you watch it in your VR headset this year, and it'll be just like you're there.
I don't think that's quite how that. Yep, sure.
Look.
Oh, look.
I think everybody. One of the reasons that I'm not vehemently anti E3, but one of the biggest issues that I have with E3 is something that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how much dev teams and companies have to crunch.
Yeah.
To get their stuff ready for an arbitrary date in the middle of the summer when it's not important. They could release their trailer or their clip or have press come and play their game anytime.
Right.
And I don't know. I just hate the idea of people working 20-hour days.
Agreed.
To try to get a demo out for a game that's still broken and not ready yet.
I'm sad by how disenchanted most of the people in my life and my community are with conventions already. Because I just got to start actually going to conventions in 2019.
Yeah.
That was my first convention,
You're
actual
new.
circuit. Yeah. I had been to a few, and
Yeah.
I always did WonderCon, and I would do, but like, for the most part, for most of my time in games, I always had to work on the weekends, and that was how I paid to survive and pay my bills. So I couldn't go to conventions because I could not take weekends off.
But now you're in the place where you're a working professional that can go to these conventions.
Right. I can afford to go to the conventions. Most of the time I can get a professional pass for these conventions, and most of my friends are already over it. And it is so sad.
I've been doing, I've been going to them, hosting them, doing a ton of this stuff for over a decade. And, it's just one of those things where you just see a little bit too much about how the sausage is made, maybe.
I know.
And particularly for me, I was traveling so much. It's kind of like, I could use a little rest. I don't mind watching an event or an announcement. Because here's my thing. If I go to a convention, I want it to be 100% for my enjoyment.
Yeah, you don't want to work it.
I want to go to like a PAX and hang out with friends I haven't seen all year,
right,
or something like that. I don't want to go. I don't want to run from appointment to appointment at E3. Which, listen, champagne problems, baby. Mm-hmm. I understand that.
My ideal situation is working one of the days and hanging out 2 of the days.
Yes,
I would love to have one excuse that pays me to be there.
The best thing for that, you submit a panel, you do your one panel,
yeah,
and then you hang out for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, like at TwitchCon, I got to go and I did my Alienware stream, and then I was like, cool, now I just get to enjoy TwitchCon.
Lots of kittens in chat. Anthony, I could use a little rest. Monkey's paw finger breaks. Yeah, I'm sorry for 2020. I apologize.
Yikes. Also, Alonzo and Lots of Kittens were also talking about Gen Con, and I am very excited for Gen Con. Gen Con is the only convention that I hear my friends talk about that they are not disenchanted
I've
with.
never been to a Gen Con, and I've never been to a Dragon Con, because Dragon Con is always
in Atlanta.
counter scheduled against like a PAX or something. So I've never been able to go, but I'd love to go to a Dragon Con. Just seems like the last of the generally weird, all-encompassing whatever you're into, let's get weird about it conventions. That's what it feels like to me, though I have never been.
Yeah, I would love to go to Dragon Con. I hear that the parties are more wild than I will be prepared for in any capacity, but I'll go.
My friends got married at Dragon Con. They had a red wedding. Like, people actually got shot. Like, they set up archers.
You're going to have to be more specific.
No, everybody died.
Jesus Christ, Anthony.
They did a red wedding reenactment at their actual wedding.
You can't say people actually got shot.
They did, but it was like, you know.
There's important parts of that.
Not fatally. They just pretended.
Right, there we go. That's, Anyways, y'all, conventions. 2022?
And then some of them died for real.
No, that's not.
Because if you die at Dragon Con, you die in real life.
Stop.
Hey, you like Diablo?
I do.
You excited about Diablo 2 Resurrected?
Yes.
Did you remember to sign up for the alpha because it begins this weekend?
No. Is it too late?
I would go check. I think you might still have time. I believe the sign up.
Stop.
Wait. How
off.
come it came right up for me?
It's about the amount of time in between the last time you played it.
How come the vibe came back? Maybe am I more vibey?
No, that's not. I just explained how it works.
But like, hey, look over here.
A look.
A look. Am I more vibey in my hut?
Am I more vibey in my hut?
Am I more vibey in my hut? A look.
You might be more vibey.
I might be more vibey.
All right. A look. That's fair.
A look. Diablo2.blizzard.com, by the way, if you want to see if you can still sign up. That's where to go do it. Of course, professional host Saige Ryan will not be doing that while we're.
I wouldn't.
Listen, she's not signing up for the Diablo Alpha. She's not hanging out in chat. She's hosting the show right now.
I've typed 2 messages in chat, Anthony.
I just might be more vibey than you.
I've typed 2 messages in chat.
You gonna opt in or whatever?
Yeah.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Are we gonna show your screen?
No, it's gonna show my email. Please don't. Actually, no, super. Please don't.
Like you haven't given that away on a show
Hush.
before. Like you haven't given that away on 3 shows.
Anyways,
the technical alpha is this weekend. Get up on it. It looks like you can still sign up for it. Mm-hmm. You can still opt into the alpha.
Sure can.
Technical alpha is single player only. You're going to be the barbarian, the Amazon, or the sorceress. The other classes are not available for this alpha. As one of the 3 available classes, you're going to participate in the entirety of the game's first 2 acts.
Yes.
Now,
Sorry. Yes.
Of course, remember, this is an alpha. This isn't even a beta. Mm-hmm. This is a real cuck, this one.
Okay.
And anything you do is obviously just for this weekend, and then it's going to get wiped out. This is just if you want to play Diablo
And I do.
and see what it's about.
Yes.
Players in this event can take on Andariel and finish things off with an epic battle with Doriel. That's interesting.
Yes. I know what I'll be doing this weekend. I would love to know if y'all are going to be playing as well. And if you are, please talk about it with me in the Discord.
Also, while the fun stops at the end of Act 2, there is no level cap during the technical alpha.
Fuck.
So you know people are just going to be grinding to see what happens.
Yeah, why not?
Why
That's
not?
fun.
Runs from Friday, April 9th, 7 a.m. Pacific time to Monday, April 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Mm-hmm. So that's a long... You could spend your whole weekend doing the same 2 first acts of Diablo over and over again, and I know some of you will.
Yep.
And God bless you.
I dropped the link for y'all in chat.
Godspeed to you all.
Other things are happening.
Breath of the Waifu.
Oh. Yes.
Genshin Impact.
Yes.
This is a huge game. As we said, it's making about, what do we say? Every time they release a new player, they make like $20 million a day.
Jesus.
Every time they release a new character. Mm-hmm. This is a big money game. Big money, big prizes. A lot of people are into it. And over the weekend, or over the last week, Boycott Genshin became a trending hashtag.
Yeah.
And when reporters looked into why, it was a little murky.
It seems to be unclear. There were definitely some pointing to stereotypes that exist within the game that people do not approve of.
Yeah, the Hilichurls, apparently one of the enemy characters, they're sort of like this is like the orc thing. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. So the Hilichurls are some of the bad guys, and there was a dev video that showed animators using actual indigenous dances to as reference for animation for the Hilichurls.
And the Hilichurls are an enemy.
Yeah. So this is sort of like people are pointing to this sort of thing where indigenous cultures are sort of used to represent evil in games. You know, you can point to orcs, right? Orcs are kind of human, but they're not really human, and they do kind of like more tribal things. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of things like wearing the skulls on necklaces and stuff, like bokoblins do, and how that's sort of tied to these like older stereotypes of indigenous cultures.
Yeah.
And so people were a little mad about that.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But it's very strange because when these things trend on Twitter, it always becomes a mess. Every time I try and click on something and go, why is this trending? It's mostly people going, why is this trending? And then it became kind of from people actually airing their grievances with the game to people then complaining that people had grievances with the game using the hashtag, and it kind of it's burying the actual issue.
Yeah, it looks like it started with this Hilichurl thing. Mm-hmm. Which is a valid thing, mm-hmm. and then it sort of came up to in-game content being delayed. Mm-hmm. Then it just sort of turned into people who are not enjoying the game right now, or people who are over the game. There's a lot going on. Oh, and then there's also So there are some references to darker-skinned heroes and non-player characters being referenced as having fierce appearances, which only the darker-skinned characters are referenced as having fierce appearances. And then there is one character. There are two of the player characters, two of the heroes, Barbara and Flora, are underage, and they have minor older male NPCs that have crushes on them as part of subquests. And apparently this is stuff that's left over from when these characters, their original in-game models were supposed to look older, mm-hmm. and now they don't.
Yep.
And they left the text in there. And certainly that could be something where it's like, ooh, we accidentally left that in there, but it's apparently been brought up for many months.
Clearly could have fixed that. Been a lot of updates, added a lot of new stuff. Didn't take that out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. This is just one of these. It's such a gigantic game, and it's so popular right now, mm-hmm. that a hashtag like this becomes a rallying point for anyone that has a large or small complaint about the game. So it becomes mm-hmm. hard to understand what the centralized version of this is.
Yeah, I mean, it would appear that the centralized issue is in fact racism, and while it doesn't surprise me that Breath of the Waifu's development team probably doesn't have a lot of women or people of color on it, I do feel like at this point in the game, it's been out for a hot minute now and people clearly have been airing these grievances, maybe you could have at least given us a patch. Maybe these characters, and there was a quote in here that I want to pull back up, woof. All right, back in a 2013 blog post, Jemison wrote, "Orcs are human beings who can be slaughtered without conscience or apology. Creatures that look like people but aren't really, kind of sort of people. They aren't worthy of even the most basic moral considerations like the right to exist. Only way to deal with them is to control them, utterly a la slavery, and wipe them out." So to have these kind of beings based on Native American culture is unquestionably harmful.
Yeah.
And like, hey, if you're making any kind of enemy, don't base it on any culture. Just make something new up. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine developing an enemy for any video game and basing it on any, like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously these things, anything that you do is going to be a pastiche, you know. You don't just create something out of whole cloth. You take influences and things like that, but just you have to make sure, and you have to think about what your influences were, why you're using them the way that you're using them, and sort of look at your own subconscious biases and things like that.
Yeah.
Are you using indigenous stuff because in your mind that stuff is a harmless way to signify primitive and evil? And is that because throughout your entire life you've seen media that reinforces that? And if so, hey, why don't you pull out some of that and find some other things to weave in and make it a little more organic and new and interesting? Because that's the other thing, is like a lot of this stuff, tropes are kind of boring.
Tropes
you know
are
what
boring.
I mean? Tropes are boring.
Move
is the other
on.
thing.
Do better.
That's part of the connotation of a trope. So
I never started Genshin Impact. Feeling pretty good about that right now. You know, I was told I would like it quite a bit, that I was going to love Breath of the Waifu.
me too.
But maybe just play Breath of the Wild. I don't know.
I don't know. Replay Breath of the Wild.
Alonzo in the live studio audience said even, you know, D&D has started moving away from that mindset.
Oh,
and
they're
they really
doing
are
great in the new stuff.
Yeah, they're doing their best to move away from those things. And there are slip-ups, no doubt. Like, it's not perfect, but they've been making big steps for it. Also...
And I mean, that's a lot of that source material. I mean, that source material is like...
from the 70s.
Yeah, it's like 40 years old now. And not only that, but
Written
like...
by white men in the 70s.
But not only that, before that, it was pulling heavily from Tolkien. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of source material that's built into that. And, you know, it's not going to get all rooted out at once, but it's been wonderful to see D&D, their reaction to it and be like, hey, yeah, you're right. As we update, this isn't just about updating the math of encumbrance when we update these things.
Right.
This is about updating our ideas about these character classes and these types of species and things like that you can be in this game. What do we do about it? And I love that.
Also, hey, if you're a DM, don't use encumbrance.
Don't use encumbrance.
Oh, don't use encumbrance.
Nobody uses encumbrance.
Don't be that much of a bummer. In the time that we've been talking about this, my mother entered the chat to call us out on being late.
It looks like you're late because you came in after we started.
So how do you know?
So
why are we running late today?
I don't know.
Why
Mom,
are
I don't
you?
know, Mom. Why are you running late? What were you doing that was so important that you couldn't show up when the show started? Not that I'm trying to guilt you. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Does seem like you leaned into something there.
Did I? Let's hey, Street Fighter V.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Street Fighter V spring update. Now, I have not really jumped into Street Fighter V very much. I think we've talked about this before. I don't really do fighting games online. I like playing on a couch with friends or in a room with friends.
Same.
But Street Fighter V's spring update brought in some stuff that is very exciting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oro is here.
Look at that pose.
Oro is here from
at that
Street Fighter
pose.
3. Holy shit.
The turtle.
Ugh. And not only is Oro here and looking dope as hell.
Looking so good.
Man, Street Fighter 3 had the weirdest characters.
Yes, it did.
God, I love how
And
weird
Oro is
Street
coming
Fighter 3
equipped
was.
with all of his classic moveset, along with a handful of new ones, which is very exciting. He even retains his one-armed combat style.
Oh, I love it. He's just...
Yep.
I love it. But Rose is back from Street Fighter Alpha, from Street
Yes.
Fighter Zero. Bison's lover. She's great.
She's great, and she looks very cool. I dig this character model that they did for her.
Oh, she looks so cool. She looks so regal and cool and awesome.
Yeah. She's definitely got a, like, she can step on me vibe.
Oh, Rose has always been able to step.
Right.
Rose could always step on a throat. And let me tell you something. Not only is Rose coming, not only is Oro coming, rival schools. Fucking rival schools.
Yeah.
Akira is coming.
This video was great.
I freaking love rival schools. I freaking love rival schools.
Now, I have played a little bit of this game. I think I still have it.
And
back
now, Akira looks like she's been tweaked and balanced very heavily. Now, this is just development. Akira is not coming out anytime soon. She was just teased during the spring update. But it looks like they really did tweak her for Street Fighter V, and she looks like a Makoto type, but less strong, less heavy with her damage, and a little more like speedy chain combo, which I love. And not only that, look at this. The team summon.
Yeah.
Daigo comes in as her special. And I wonder if Daigo's the only person that she calls in, or does she call in any other people from
team members?
Ooh,
Interesting.
rival schools.
They said that they will be giving updates on that in the near future, but that is the extent of what we got from it. We got a couple of new costumes for existing characters as well.
Yep, new costumes for Vega, Seth, and Juri.
Which look good.
They look very good.
You know how I feel about that Juri costume.
I do.
Of course.
I do.
Of course.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I also love this Secret Agent Vega is very good. Season Pass. Now, I think Street Fighter V Champion Edition is $24.99 right now, and then the Season Pass with all the premium character stuff is an additional $25. So basically, you pay a full game price. And I
Basically, whole game money.
Whole game for whole money.
Right.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Whole game for whole money?
Whole game for whole money. I mean, yeah.
All right. I love it.
At least it's not half game for whole money.
Yeah, a lot of, the trend these days is half game for whole money.
Yeah. So, it could be worse. What other whole game are we getting?
Ooh. We're getting that Mass Effect.
We are getting Mass Effect.
And
How
that's
very
that's
exciting.
3 games.
That's 3 whole games.
3 whole games in one. And
Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming.
And we've been waiting to hear. They've been talking about how things are going to be rebalanced. Baby, they've changed.
Yep. Most recently, we looked at some of the upscaling of the character models that were interesting and some of the kind of quality fixes. But now we're getting a look at kind of more of the actual gameplay updates and what you can expect from that.
Yeah, there is a huge amount of rebalancing, particularly in the first Mass Effect, and I'm very excited about it. It's combat tweaks. It's tweaks to the Mako, which is very exciting. I think we've all been waiting on that. I'm actually going to skip right to the Mako driving tweaks here.
All right.
Physics tuning improved to feel weightier and slide around less. Oh, a drivable Mako? Great.
Ooh.
Improved camera controls, which resolve issues from the Mako accurately aiming at lower angles. Shields recharge faster. New thrusters added for speed boots, and its cooldown is separate from the jump jets. XP penalty while in the Mako has been removed. Touching lava no longer results in instant mission failure. Do you remember sliding that dumb machine around and touching lava and dying instantly? What a fucking nightmare. Did you ever play the game Irritating Stick?
No.
Irritating Stick is a game, and it's based on like an old carnival game where you take a stick and it's in between these metal railings, and you've got to get it through the metal railings without touching them. And you're watching the Disney Channel.
Exactly.
The Mako felt like playing Irritating Stick.
Got it.
The Mako felt like, oops, you touched the side. It's like playing Operation. Oops, you touched the side. Start over. You're dead. Fuck that. In addition, targeted combat updates and general updates. Shepard can now sprint out of combat. Thank you. Melee attacks are now mapped to a button press rather than automatically occurring based on proximity to an enemy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Weapon accuracy and handling has been improved. Reticle bloom is more controlled. Weapon sway is removed from sniper rifles. Aiming down sights camera has been improved. Ugh.
Yes.
Thank you. All relevant enemies take headshot damage.
Previously, they couldn't.
Yeah, some did not.
Sometimes they just didn't.
ammo mods now drop throughout the entire game, no matter what level you are.
Previously, these would stop dropping at higher levels.
Ugh. All weapons can be used by any class without penalty. Weapon cooldown is much faster. The base cooldown for Metagel has been improved. The leveling benefits for Metagel has been increased. I'm Bybee. I'm very Bybee.
Look.
Some abilities have been rebalanced. Weapon power is rebalanced. Squad mates can now be commanded independently of each other in the first Mass Effect.
Yes.
And this one is very, very exciting. They say the cover system works. They say that you can go into and out of cover reliably.
Wow.
We'll see.
They also said that they tweaked some of the boss fights just to be a little fairer and a little nicer.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Great. Also, for big changes for the Legendary Edition,
one launcher for all 3 games.
one launcher for all 3 games.
Thank you. Updated character creator options.
FemShep, the FemShep model from 3 is now the default model for FemShep throughout all 3 games. Thank you. Although here on this show, we call her Real Shep.
Yes. Well, maybe mean to Mark. Oh, also must be nice to Mark.
Listen, we love Mark.
We love Mark.
We love Mark. We love Jennifer. We love them equally.
Yes.
I'm just saying, they wrote Real Shep a little more interestingly.
Sure.
That's all
fair.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Achievements have been improved. They integrated all the weapon and DLC packs from all the games.
Yes.
And the final battle in Mass Effect 3 is now entirely dependent upon your level, your skills, all that stuff. It's not dependent on... Obviously, it can't be dependent on... You got a little bit of a buff during the final battle if you played a lot of multiplayer. Obviously, it pulled multiplayer out.
Right.
So that buff is gone. But also, anything else that was external to gameplay has been removed, and it's entirely dependent on your gameplay now. This is dope as hell. This is dope as hell. We've talked about how many times I've stalled out on Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it.
I've played little bits and pieces of Mass Effect, but this is definitely where I start a playthrough, and I'm very excited about that. Because it is something that I feel like I missed out on going all the way through, and I'm very excited about it.
Yes, it's a very good game.
You know, sometimes the company just gives you what you want. We wanted the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but sometimes the fans have to do it.
Sometimes we got to get our own hands dirty.
Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. And sometimes fans got to remake Metroid Prime in 2D.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is so cool.
It has a playable demo now. We can probably watch this trailer.
We can absolutely watch
We
this
can
trailer.
watch it.
This is so good. They've been working on Prime 2D. The developers are calling themselves Team SCU. And they've been working on Prime 2D for 15 years. They've been working on it since 2004. Wow. On and off. Obviously, it's something that they're doing in their free time.
Yeah.
So it takes a little while. What it wants to do is it doesn't want to be a one-to-one. They say what they want to do is they want to take the core concepts of Prime and convert it into 2D in a way that works. So they're not trying to they're trying to be faithful, but they're also trying to make it make sense in 2D.
Yeah. G Seto asks, so is it done? They uploaded it. It has a playable demo out right now that you could go play if you want.
What I love is they have a 2D representation of things like your scanning visor and stuff like that, and it's very thoughtful looking. It's very interesting.
Yeah, they've put 15 years into this.
Yeah, this trailer is this is an older one. They don't have a new trailer yet, but this one's from a few years ago. But it gives you a good look at kind of what's going on, and you can play the demo yourself now. How exciting!
Let's see. You know what? I will link it in the Discord if you want to get it.
Yeah. Over 14,000 people have downloaded it already. That's so wonderful for them.
Yeah, right? You work on something for 15 years and they're like, I don't know, we have a trailer, like a playable demo.
We love a labor of love. Nintendo, be cool.
Oh, Nintendo, please be cool.
Nintendo, just be cool.
Oh, please be cool.
Just be cool this time. You don't need to be cool every time. Just be cool.
Right. It's clear that there's no requirement for you to be cool every time. You've gotten away with it in the past, but like, they've been working on this for 15 years. If Nintendo shuts it down, well, that's going to be bad.
I'm going to be so sad. In other fan recreation news, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to jump into Valheim. I really do.
We say this every episode.
I say this every episode. As you know, if you follow my streams, then you know that my computer, the ship of Theseus, is having issues. It's been having issues for a while. There is one final plank, I think, that arrives today.
Flaw.
That I think applies to. I replace it today, and I think we're good. I think we're back. I think I can Valheim.
Okay.
But this really makes me want to jump into Valheim. Dragon's Reach.
Yes.
Recreated in Valheim.
And it's so pretty. Dragon Reach looks so good.
This is so cool. It's obviously one of the bigger and more impressive interior environments and buildings in Skyrim, and it's just so wonderful to watch. Somebody created this on their server. It took them 50 hours, and they did it, and it looks beautiful. I will say,
how did they do this in only 50 hours?
I know, right?
Right? Like, I mean, 50 hours is a lot of time, but like, this is a very impressive build for 50 hours.
Yeah, look at that. You sit in front of the Jarl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Look. And there's something, and I'm not gonna listen, we're gonna be cool. Mm-hmm. We understand that, not everybody gets everything correct. We're gonna be cool. But Game Informer does keep calling it Dragon Reach.
Right.
And I'm fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm fine. And I'm not going to be weird about it. And we don't have to be weird about it. And it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
Because humans are fallible, and I'm not. It's not bugging my brain in the least.
I believe you.
But they do a 5-minute tour. I mean, it's all there. Mm-hmm. It's all there. It's all there, including the S in Dragon's Reach. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to do it, and it's not bothering me.
Mm-hmm,
it's not bothering me.
It's also very funny to me because it's like, it's not like they recreated it in a very different looking game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just kind of looks like Skyrim.
Now, here's the question that I have for Valheim players. Is it like Minecraft where there's a creative mode as well, or did they have to play the game to get the materials to build Dragon's Reach?
I actually don't know that.
If you haven't played Skyrim, Skyrim's out on everything.
Just playing the game.
You gotta play that Skyrim. It's busted and weird and good. Mm-hmm. And I rebought it in VR.
You bought Valheim in VR?
No.
Oh, you
Skyrim. I bought it in VR.
I was gonna say, it was that Valheim VR mod we talked about, but there is a console mode where they can cheat, but for the most part, it would appear you just have to collect the materials.
And then Leon Blaze says in the live studio audience there's a creative mode mod that people have been using. Okay, but even still, to design and build that in 50 hours.
Every time I see an impressive
clean my closet
build,
in 50 hours.
Every time I see an impressive build, I see it in Minecraft and like all the time, and then I get on and I'm like, I could build something impressive.
I'll build something in Minecraft.
And then it looks like it's made out of children's blocks.
I feel the same way about about Minecraft, about Lego. When I see people build things out of Lego, I'm just like, yeah, maybe I'll make something. I've always wanted to. Maybe I'll build something like Adam Saltzman, who's a game developer and a buddy of mine, makes a lot of great games. Mm-hmm. Also makes his own custom little Lego spaceships and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, oh, that's cool. I should do that. And then I sit down with Legos, and it's the same shit I built when I was 6. It's a flat base with 4 wheels, 1 slanty bit up front, and it's a car. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm a grown adult.
Yeah.
I understand spatial relationships.
God, now I want to play with Legos so bad.
Ugh.
All I want right now is to just go build Legos.
Let's go build Lego.
Yeah.
You all want to go build some Lego?
I do know that it is singular Lego. But building Lego just doesn't ever feel right to me.
Building with Lego bricks is the
Right?
way you're supposed to say it, and your
Build
pinky is
Legos.
out.
Build Legos.
Oh my gosh! Also, Moo Gerald in the live studio audience, there's some sort of physics. If things aren't supported, they'll fall apart. So it's not like Minecraft where you could just build whatever fantasy structure you want.
Right.
It has to make sense within the limited physics of the world.
No.
Wow.
I couldn't do it.
Wow. I don't want to do that, but I'd like to come into your Valheim server and see what you've built.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you want to, you could post some screenshots in our Discord. Put them in the It's Too Early channel. Show off your Valheim if you're doing that Valheim.
Hey, show off your Valheim. Mario's dead. Mario died, of course, last month. His last media appearance was actually right here on this show.
It's true.
We've got to release that clip once the ship of Theseus is floating.
One day.
One day, I'll have a working computer and we'll release clips of this show. But until that day, we can only mourn Mario. Mm-hmm. But it looks like Pac-Man's got something to announce to us.
Pac-Man 99.
Oh, the moment the plumber died and his 35 went away, Pac-Man said, "I'll see your 35, and I'll raise you an extra whatever adds up to 99. I'm bad at math. 64. Mm-hmm. Of course, we saw Tetris 99. Mm-hmm. Of course, we saw Mario 35. Mm-hmm. This is now Pac-Man 99.
Dude, look at all those Pac-Mans.
Look at all those
Pac-Manning.
Pac-Mans playing.
There's so much Pac-Manning happening right now.
This, of course, is going to work similarly to Tetris 99 and Mario 35, where as you destroy ghosts, you are sending them to other people's games, and then they have extra ghosts in their games.
Yes.
People can also pop in as a jammer Pac-Man in your game.
Ooh.
There's a lot of very interesting things that can happen here. I am so excited to play this.
Mm-hmm. I think this would make me very stressed, and I don't think I will be playing it.
Ooh, Tetris. I love Tetris 99. The first time you get a victory in Tetris 99
I know.
or Mario 35, it's a feeling. Listen, I don't know what accomplishment is. Mm-hmm. I don't live that kind of life.
Sure.
I'm trying to stay under the radar. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, I think that might be what true accomplishment feels like, is winning one of these games.
Fascinating.
Son of Orpheus in the live studio audience says, reminds me of that 4-player Pac-Man at Dave & Buster's. That is called Pac-Man Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And it fucking owns. And the fact that it's never come to any home platform shows that Namco is a bunch of cowards. Give us the Pac we want to see in the world. Gandhi said that.
A look
in my heart. I want a Pac-Man Battle Royale.
It's the good vibes.
I do also want, is Pac-Man Championship Edition DX on the Switch? I would love to have that on the Switch. Not Champion Edition 2. That shit's garbage.
My mom said she loves Tetris. That's very sweet.
It's very sweet.
She's never been able to actually talk about games with us before.
Oh, you would love Tetris 99.
This is her first time we're talking about a game that she's actually played.
Very sweet.
Let's talk about, if Namco, maybe some cowards, let's talk about something from a lovely indie dev that has been a long time in the works. And we have a trailer for, and
it's so good.
Game incoming.
Game incoming.
The game is called Before Your Eyes, and it was essentially just like a project that's been being worked on for 7 years, I think they said. They started it in 2008.
Yeah. As a student, yeah.
As a student, it was like a side project. They did all kinds of crowdfunding for it. They've tried so many things. They were picked up by a publisher. They were dropped by that publisher. It has very much seemed like this game was never going to happen. And it's finally happening. And I would love to watch this 1-minute trailer with you. It is, Anthony and I love these kind of games. We do. No sound. Probably not. Maybe a little sound.
You can remember. I'm going to send you there. Every time that you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years.
So there is a mechanic where every time you blink, time passes.
You like it.
Yeah. And you can see that you're going through your own life.
You're living through these memories.
And you're choosing experiences too. Like you saw that photo album.
Yep.
And it was like Egypt or Paris, and it's like
Yep.
you can't go to both. You only have one life, and like big trips don't happen very often for a lot of people. Which one are you going to? Mm-hmm. And it's you play through your entire life by blinking. And obviously, so the way the game works is you're in your VR headset, and you don't physically blink.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a blink icon, but you have to look at something.
Yes. Right.
The way it's set up is you have to look at something, and I think that's kind of interesting. Is like you're gonna have to choose the right time to blink. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to choose the right thing, and there is no right or wrong, I don't think, which is what's lovely about this game.
It's very slice of life.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very slice of life, which we're obsessed with. And they keep putting out these indie games that are going to break my heart. We looked at that fishing game the other day.
Oh, the fishing game.
These games do be out here trying to break my heart. So essentially the idea was concocted in 2008 and then picked back up in 2014. They ran a bunch of different things. They decided they would take the game more seriously if it got into a gaming showcase. It got into Indiecade. It did. It got into the Independent Games Festival. A publisher picked it up and then dropped it. They ran a successful Kickstarter, and for 7 years, every time it seemed like before your eyes would happen, something fell apart. And it kept just being like, well, I don't know. I guess it was just a fun experiment.
But it's out now after all of their hard work. I believe it comes out today.
Let me find date.
I believe it's out today on Steam. So that's if it's
Yeah,
not today,
it's
it's
today.
tomorrow. So go pick that up.
No, it's tomorrow. Sorry. This was posted this morning. So it'll be on Steam tomorrow. Go support games that people have been working on for so long. Do it. Whatever you do, don't blink. I 100% have been thinking about that as well. It immediately gave me Doctor Who moments. But this looks lovely, and like it's going to make me very sad. And I'll
It's only
probably stream it so we
spooky.
can all cry together.
It's only spooky in the way that mortality is spooky.
Yeah. They did try to do some kind of like webcam blink detection. That's what they wanted to do for it, was give you like physical blinking.
Oh no, because then you're spending the game trying to physically keep your eyes open, and you're not enjoying it as much.
Yeah, right. But they did give it a go. I could see that being a future thing in VR though, which would be very interesting.
Yeah. Definitely, as it starts being able to track faces and stuff like
And
that.
we
more
talked about
accurately.
some VR technology that was being developed that would be able to like essentially camera on the inside sense
Oh,
more
yeah.
of your facial recognition.
A lot of the new headsets that are being designed have eye tracking,
Mm-hmm.
and the Vive now has external face tracking, which is the bottom of your face, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff like that going on. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that would kill my eyes too. And someone who wears contacts, especially when I'm going to put my VR headset on because not comfortable with glasses on.
Yeah.
I would be like, contacts are drying, but want to see the rest of this scene.
Don't want to skip this scene.
Right.
Talking about some games that are not of the video type.
Yes.
The American Tabletop Awards
Yeah.
announced their winner. They're celebrating 2020's best board games. Listen, 2020 not kind of a good year, kind of a terrible year for board games.
Hard to gather with other people and play games.
Yeah, if you're already in a situation where you're living with a group of people, great year for video games, or a great year for board games.
Yes.
If you live by yourself, not the greatest year for board games.
That's me.
That's me. Sorry.
I was actually very intrigued. The first one on this list, Abandon All Artichokes, I had never heard of. Mm-hmm. It looks lovely.
Yeah, so this won the early gamers. So this is for any game that is accessible to people who are 10 and up.
It
So
looked cute as hell.
This one for family game. So this is a game. The goal is to be the first player to draw a full hand of vegetable cards without any artichokes in it.
It just looks cute.
It's
It
very
looks-
cute.
It looks like a nice little board game to sit in a cabin and play.
You just want to sit in a cabin and play board
I just
games.
want to sit in a cabin and play board games.
That's all you want to do. I miss game nights.
I miss game night.
I miss game nights.
Anyways.
Next is The Crew Quest for Planet 9. That won the award for Best Casual Game.
Mhm.
It's a cooperative trick-taking game, meaning that players use the mechanics of traditional card games to push specific cards to specific players.
Very fun.
Very fun. Calico. That's the strategy game category. Players compete against each other to match patterns on their own personal sideboard and attract cats to their workspace.
It's about quilting and cats.
It's about quilting and cats.
100%.
And
Now, I've seen this one.
yeah.
This is one of those big many piece games, and I love a big many piece game.
Ooh, the more little widgets that are in the box, the more I'm like, ooh, that looks fiddly.
We love a fiddly board game. This is Domination's Road to Civilization. This won the complex games category. An expert strategic Euro game that will challenge even the most experienced players.
The concept is a global domination game, but with no war, army, or empire. You must take over the world through benevolent strategy.
Yeah, I'd play it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Play it.
Big box.
Big box, big game.
Big box, big game, big mood.
Big congrats to all of the board games that won awards.
So going back to video games here. A lot of people have not been able to play all the video games they want this year.
No.
And it's because there's been a shortage of these new consoles. And Bloomberg did a big deep dive into understanding why there has been such a shortage of these things. And it all comes down to a shortage of a $1 chip. You cannot have a PS5 or an Xbox Series or a lot of new TVs or even phones. A lot of this equipment you can't have because of the loss of a $1 chip that is being held back. It's very, very interesting. And the reason is not that they can't make the chip during the pandemic, although they are having a little bit of trouble making the chip during the pandemic. The problem is the demand for consumer and personal electronics has gone up so much during the pandemic that they literally cannot make any more of this chip. And so they have to ration them out. Bigger clients get the chips first. And people who have long-standing contracts get the chips first. And I was like, well, why don't they just spin up more factories, make more of this chip, charge more for this chip? This seems like something where they could really make a lot of money. So this is a display controller chip, and it's a $1 chip. And basically all it does is it tells your phone screen or your laptop screen, turn on, turn off. Be screen. That's what it does. And the reason they can't make more of it is because it's kind of a legacy part. It's made on old machines that aren't made anymore. It's like a 15 nanometer process when everything is down to like a 9 or a 7 nanometer process. And there are only so many factories with those old machines. And so they interviewed one of the guys who runs one of the biggest fabrication plants for these things in China. He's like, look, there are no more people to call in. He's like, I'm not going to, I could work my employees to death. It wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
This is an old chip.
We don't have more machines. We can't do it.
And it makes no sense.
Why are we still using it?
Because it makes no sense to move it to the new process. Moving it to the new process would make it cost 5 to 7 times more, which would then, so you're talking about a $5 to $7 chip instead of a $1 chip. And you talk about every component that gets added, you have to multiply that cost by 4 to 8 times to get the retail price. So this $1 chip costs you $4 to $8 depending on what you're buying it in. A $7 chip would cost you $28 to $49 on the retail price.
Right. Be screen, do thing, eat hot chip and lie.
And I'm sure eventually they will come up with some sort of integrated chip that is inexpensive that will do this. But for right now, this is what people design these electronics years in advance. We're stuck.
Yep.
Especially with consoles. They're not changing those console reference designs. They just started making those consoles. It's going to be 2 or 3 years before we get a rework of those.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's affecting car manufacturing. Look, man, people's cars were stuck in the canal. Everybody's everything was stuck in the canal. Big boat, go no.
Put it back.
Big boat, go no.
Put the boat back.
Put it back. End everything. I just think it's so fascinating. We are so limited by as far ahead as we get in terms of technology, and as massively impressive and wonderful as the world becomes, we are limited by a boat and a machine that stamp a thing.
Sometimes you have to be reminded that there are large limitations on us as a species.
We need to be able to manipulate matter. I want teleportation, and I want tea Earl Grey hot. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. When are we going to get the replicator
Sure.
and the teleporter?
Right.
That's all.
This is all the same conversation we're having.
I just want and better batteries. Okay. I'm done.
Y'all.
And there's an S in Dragon's Reach.
Yes. We have to talk about a bummer. Oh, it's bigger than a bummer. It's much bigger than a bummer. Ray Fisher has opened up about Joss Whedon's treatment during the Justice League.
Big interview with the Hollywood Reporter this week. It's worse than we even knew.
Yeah.
It's worse than we even knew. Apparently, Joss was clashing with the entire cast, was something of a tyrant. This is something that we've heard before by the Buffy cast. To the point where he was not allowed to talk to Gal Gadot on set unless there was a representative from the studio present. There needed to always be a mediator if Joss Whedon was going to talk to Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Now, we knew that Ray Fisher had an issue with Joss Whedon. Back in June of 2020, he tweeted that Joss Whedon was gross, abusive, and unprofessional and completely unacceptable on set. But it just looks worse every time.
You know, somebody, Flannel Fries in chat asks, how could they try to cover this up? We are on the very, very, very periphery of the entertainment industry, you and I.
Yes.
Just like a little bit. Mm-hmm. You were more integrated with it than I am. You've done TV stuff and things like that. I've been around for those productions, but I'm not. It's not that they thought that they could cover it up. Mm-hmm. There is a pervasive culture of this is what you have to deal with to make creative things and be successful in a creative field.
Right.
The executives and the directors or the producers who think they're God, the actors who have unreasonable demands, the politicals,
the white men calling it method.
Yeah, oh God. There's nothing I hate more than a fucking method actor. A Jared Leto mailing dead rats to their coworkers. It's not a joke, dude, and you're not playing a role. This is always been considered to be part of the industry, and I think a lot of it comes with the fact that I want to be tough and powerful and cool.
That's it.
And I'm the only one that can make this right, and it has to be my vision. It's a lot of the unique exceptionalism thing. It's the American cowboy thing for sure. But you know, there's just a lot of that culture where it's like, oh, I'm the tortured artist, and it has to be my way or no way at all. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. He apparently told Gal Gadot, reportedly, according to this article, if she didn't read the lines the way he said, she was like, I don't want to read these lines. I don't think the continuity of my character from movie to movie is really weird here. And he's like, no, I'm the writer, and you'll read my lines. You'll read what I wrote for you, or I'll write worse lines for you. He's like, I'll get your movie taken away. He's like, I'll take over your movie the same way I took over Zach's movie, is literally, according to people on set, what he said. I will take over Patty's movie the same way I took over Zach's movie, and you will read what I say, or you will never work again. I will ruin you. To Gal Gadot.
To Wonder Woman.
To Wonder Woman. Yeah. And of course, Ray Fisher got angry because he didn't get angry, but he
spoke out.
He spoke out, and on set he called up and he's like, I have some questions about my character, and Joss Whedon said to him, no, I don't. It sounds like you're giving me notes, and I don't take notes. If I don't take notes from Robert Downey Jr., I'm not going to take notes from you. Is reportedly what he said when Ray Fisher was like, I have some questions about my character. Could we do something more like this?
Yeah. Basically, he would talk to the kind of people that had been put in place as mediators, and the mediators would pretty much respond with, we can't make Joss mad.
We can't make Joss mad. We got to finish this movie.
Things like even creative pitches or suggestions had to be provided to Joss in particular context of when they thought he would be most receptive. It was awful. Fisher...
Jeremy Irons apparently walked off set. Jeremy Irons was just like, no, everything you've written for Alfred is terrible. I'm going to go rewrite this, or I'm not going to shoot today.
And
that bad.
Of course, for context, in case you don't have it, Ray Fisher is the first black hero in the DC universe, in the DC cinematic universe. Which is a huge deal. So when it came to cutting his backstory, and it came to cutting out a lot of the details about his parents and about how successful and genius his parents were, he was furious about that. He said that they had representation of two parents that were two genius-level black people, and we don't see that every day, which was Fisher's quote on it.
Mm-hmm. And
so to take that from him was horrible.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a big. I mean, and if you watch the Snyder Cut, it's an ensemble piece, but it very much is. A lot of it is Cyborg's movie.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of horrible to see this. It's horrible that Ray had to go through this. Of course, this brought up some other ancillary issues that people have had with Jeff Johns. As a creative executive over at Warner Brothers. First of all, it was during Krypton, apparently, which, Krypton's a great show. Cameron Cuff is a great actor, played Seg-El incredibly.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the Duke from Bridgerton, Renee... I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on his name.
I do not know his name.
Was brought up to be Reggie John Page.
Yeah.
Was brought up to be Seg-El, to be Superman's grandfather. That's who the creative team was pushing for.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff Johns was just like, nah, Superman's grandpa can't be black.
I do remember hearing about that, which is horrific.
Hoof. But
God, he's such a great actor.
But Zod could be black. That's tricky, right? It goes back to that what we were talking about earlier with this Genshin Impact stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to look in your head and you have to say to yourself, why am I okay with the grandfather of General Zod being black?
Right.
Why am I not okay with the grandfather of Superman being black?
And he tried to justify it by fans expect the character to look like young Henry Cavill.
Which, listen, Cam's a good-looking dude. But he's not good look. He doesn't look like Henry Cavill. He doesn't look like Henry Cavill. And listen, once again, Cam is great. And Cam did a great job.
This has nothing to do with the other actor.
Cam has no idea that this happened.
Right.
Cam's finding this out now.
Never the other actor's fault.
Yeah. But there was also, some of the cast on Krypton, they were really going for we want to show a diverse Krypton. Krypton has always been depicted as clean future sci-fi white people who are perfect. And we want to show that there were other people on Krypton. One of the things that one of the actors brought up is she was like, look, I want to change my hair every once in a while because that's what black women do. We change our hair. And Jeff Johns was like, no, you don't. You could say, hey, Jeff Johns, you could say, I really think we should be consistent with your character's appearance.
Sure.
But you don't you don't say no. You don't.
No, you don't.
Ugh. It's troublesome over there. It's troublesome over there.
It's hard, and it's a constant reminder that we do not know these people. I am somebody who grew up idolizing in a lot of ways Joss Whedon. As somebody who Buffy meant the world to, Firefly meant the world to, the Marvel stuff he was a part of meant the world to. Like, it is a reminder to not idolize people that we cannot know, so that we don't constantly get put in these situations of going,
Yike.
ooh.
Yeah, I never should have gotten that Ultron tattoo on my ass.
Yeah.
Let's move on to happier days.
Let's do it. Let's talk about marketing strats.
Hey, we're kind of a business show.
We're kind of a business
We're
show.
sort of business professionals.
You could say.
You know, I've got my MBA from the streets, of course.
Of course. And I did pass the bar in the state of Virginia.
And so we know good marketing when we see it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually very good marketing. We don't simp for brands and we don't simp for corporations.
But this is pretty funny.
But this is something really funny. Barilla Pasta, there it is.
Has a Spotify account.
They have a Spotify account. And on this Spotify account, this is so cool. Instagram
I've got
works
it.
so
Okay,
well.
I'm showing mine.
Great.
They have a playlist for each type of pasta, and the length of the playlist is based on how long you should cook it, so you don't have to set a timer. Best song, penne. Top hits, spaghetti. Timeless emotion, fusilli.
I love it.
This is brilliant.
I love it.
Mixtape spaghetti, and there's different kinds too, like if
Yeah.
you're feeling a different genre.
Boom bap fusilli.
Yeah,
I would love to make some boom bap fusilli tonight.
I would. Now I really want pasta.
You put it in, you turn on the playlist, and it's like, good.
Moody de linguine.
When it's done, your pasta's done.
Yeah.
We can't play these.
No, of course not.
We can't play these,
Even
but we can tell you to
pleasant-
follow Barilla Pasta.
Yeah, it's at Barilla Italia on Spotify. My favorite is Pleasant Melancholy Penne.
Pleasant melancholy penne. You remember that old song, that Dean Martin
I remember
song?
the Dean Martin song, Melancholy
Pleasant
Penne. I
melancholy
can't say that apparently.
penne.
Apparently, I'm having too much trouble speaking for that, but
Sometimes I say things seeing if somebody will clip them, and they do, and it makes me so happy.
got him.
Got him. Listen, I don't buy a bunch of junk.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You buy a ton of junk.
I don't make impulse purchases.
You make so many impulse purchases.
I'm not a hype beast. I don't.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't. I don't fill my house with useless collectibles.
That's not true.
That's not who I am.
Okay.
That's not who I am. Please don't redeem channel points to highlight a message and tell me that I'm wrong. I'll ban you forever. I'll ban you forever, Cassidy Weaver. I am a minimalist, and I live a minimalist lifestyle. But also, I do want to buy these Jurassic Park Reeboks.
They're so fucking
They're
ridiculous.
so ugly.
They're hideous.
Now,
I
they
love
are
it.
very ugly. These are Jurassic Park Cross Reebok Instapump Fury, set to release this summer for a reasonable $180.
That's it? You could have those shoes.
You could have the ugliest Reebok pumps in the world
For
only
$180.
$180. They're not just pumps, baby. They're Insta pumps. You hold it down and they fill up. You don't need to do the individual pumps.
Okay, so I don't wear the shoes. What does it pump? I don't get it. How do they work?
There's air cushions inside the shoe.
Okay.
And when you push the button, it fills them until so it makes a tight seal with your foot. So it's a perfect fit.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a total gimmick. It was garbage. It didn't work. And everybody, I remember so many of us when we were kids bought pumps because they were like the coolest things.
I would have fun with the button.
Please let me have pumps. I want pumps so bad. And we would pump them up and you could over pump them and they would pop. And so many people pop their pumps.
Pop their pump.
Don't pop your pump.
All my ladies pop your pump.
On my latest. Now that's vibey.
Oh, look.
If you are looking for all of the greatest trends of the 90s in the ugliest possible package and you need footwear, These are the pumps for you.
These are the pumps for you.
I don't buy useless things.
This next thing I feel like is actually made just for me.
Okay.
I love Batman animated movies.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I watch them all.
Yes.
I can't say I love them all, but I watch them all.
We are getting Batman The Long Halloween
My
Part
favorite.
1.
Oh my God. I love The Long Halloween
I'm
so much.
so excited about this.
We can't show too much of it because, of course, Warner Brothers hates us.
Yes. So I'm going to try to show. Please.
Just find a
please.
good Batman in there.
I'll find a good Batman.
Find a good Batman. But so this is, they're doing it as 2 different movies. So Long
Yeah.
Halloween Part 1 had its trailer released yesterday. Now, it has a slightly different animation
That's not
style
what I'm showing.
than we are used to from the Batmans.
Mm-hmm.
Should I turn it up on mine?
No, I can do it. It's just not working.
It's got some new character design. It's got some kind of interesting and different animation style going.
Let me get in there. Anthony. There we go.
I had it.
No, you had to transition it. We're in studio mode.
Oh.
So you didn't. That's it. That's your Batman. That's what I wanted to show them.
That was worth it.
That's what I wanted to show
We
them.
nailed it. Got him. So, comicbook.com mentions that this almost looks like the art style from like the Telltale games.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like they're definitely going for like a kind of a cleaner deco, like 1940s, but not in the same way that Bruce Timm was going for. It's
Yes.
a very interesting look. New voice cast, and this is exciting too. Jensen Ackles, who previously has played the Red Hood, is going to be Bruce Wayne and Batman. Kiss him. Kiss him.
You're gonna Keith. Go on.
Naya Rivera, of course, from Glee, who passed away last year, is Selena Kyle and Catwoman.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a sad story.
I mean, I knew that she passed away. I didn't know she was the voice in this.
We've got Josh Duhamel as Harvey Dent. We've got Billy Burke from Twilight as James Gordon. Titus Welliver as Carmine Falcone. David Dastmalchian, who of course is Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad movie. He's playing Calendar Man. God, I love Calendar Man.
That's ridiculous.
God, I love
it.
Calendar Man. And of course, can you make something without Troy Baker?
No, not one thing.
If you make an animated or interactive thing and Troy Baker isn't there, will it just simply disappear? Probably. But he's coming back as the Joker,
Yes.
which is very exciting. A lot of good. Jack Quaid from The Boys is going to be in this one. I'm very excited.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's big superhero news.
Big superhero news.
But Marvel had bigger news. Marvel had a bigger trailer.
This is it, baby.
We can't show this either.
This is it, baby.
Disney and Marvel will also kill us for it.
This is it, baby. We could show a little bit, though. We could show a little bit.
We could show just a little bit.
We could show just a little bit of this Loki trailer.
God, Loki looks so good. This is by far a better, and like the first trailer was great, but this is a better trailer than the other by far. By leaps and bounds, it tells us so much more about the tone of the show.
I thought it was going to be the Timekeepers, and it is. It's the Timekeepers.
Yup.
It's the Time Variance Authority. I thought it was going to be, and it is. This gives me slight Legion vibes. If you ever watched Legion,
Yeah, I can see that.
it's definitely very
Just a second.
It's very stylized. It's very strange. It's very silly, and it's very surrealistic. We know that Owen Wilson is playing Mobius.
And I was really skeptical about that, but he looks great and he's doing great in the trailer.
He's doing great.
He's doing great in the trailer.
It looks like the Time Variance Authority. So the Timekeepers are these like 3 alien creatures, basically Celestials, Eternals, that sort of thing, who watch over the flow of time at the end of time. And
Yep.
the Time Variance Authority is a government agency that exists at the end of time and makes sure that time moves the way it's supposed to. And they don't show the timekeepers, but they do show in the headquarters of the Time Variance Authority carved like these 3 godlike heads carved in the main hall. And it's the timekeepers. It's the timekeepers. Oh my God. And the interactions between Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, 2 of the funniest deadpan
Yes.
deliverers to ever deliver deadpan.
Yes. It's going to be very good.
There's this bit where they're sitting at the table and Loki's like, you can trust me. And he's like, man, I've literally watched video of you stabbing people in the back like 50 times. Wow. and he's like, well, I'm not going to do it again.
That'd be silly.
And it's just like, oh.
All right. I'm
It's
not
so
sure if
good.
the Loki trailer is already in our Discord, but I did post it for you all to watch because you should watch it and you should get as excited as we are. I have always been a Loki fan. Loki is my best boy, my perfect, beautiful best boy that I
always
love.
wanted to be a Tenenbaum.
And,
Marmaduke is such a big dog. Look how big that dog is. Wow.
You sound kind of like also the mom from Mean Girls.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a combination.
Because I think
between-
she was kind of doing an Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow. I thought I was buying a regular sized dog and it's this giant dog. Wow.
Right? What's her name? Someone help me.
Amy Poehler?
No. Though, you know what? I wasn't going to talk about it, but now that you've said Amy Poehler, you've summoned something that I found on Twitter this morning.
Wow.
A Miami stripper was arrested.
That's Amy Poehler.
It looks
Amy Poehler, you did
that looks a lot.
listen. We're not the show that yucks anybody's yum.
No,
We don't yuck
absolutely not. And we
anybody's yum.
support sex workers.
And we support sex workers. And Amy Poehler, if that's what you want to do with your life,
It's not Amy Poehler, but
you do it. You do it. But Amy Poehler, you've got everything you could ever want. Why do you need to do this, Amy Poehler? Wow, I can't believe Amy Poehler got arrested. Wow.
have to stop.
Are you thinking of Tina Fey was the teacher? Are you thinking of Tina Fey?
no.
Who are you thinking of?
No, it's the blonde woman with the
That's Amy Poehler.
No, it's not.
In Mean Girls?
No, not I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not Mean Girls. Who am I thinking of that sounds like that?
Wow. Oh, are you thinking of American Pie? Like Stifler's mom?
Maybe I'm thinking of Stifler's mom.
Jennifer Coolidge?
I'm thinking of Jennifer Coolidge
You're
in
thinking of
general.
Jennifer
I'm thinking of
Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge as an actress, but not from any particular thing.
Yeah, you're thinking of Jennifer Coolidge.
Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry, we weren't going to talk about the Amy Poehler thing, but once the name
it's
just
not an
co-
Amy Poehler thing, but
it's
it is
not
funny.
an Amy Poehler thing. But once you said the name, Amy Poehler is trending on Twitter for that, and Amy Poehler's having a bad day when she wakes up this morning.
Listen, the internet, in addition to making Amy Poehler trend, has been making a lot of things trend.
That's true.
And a new hashtag started trending this week that you see it and you get a little bit concerned. And we want you to know, don't be concerned. Click the
okay.
hashtag. Release the Zemo cut was trending this week. Now, if you're keeping up with Falcon and Winter Soldier, there is a scene, and this is not a spoiler,
Because I'm not kept up.
but there is a shot of Baron Zemo dancing.
And they want the whole cut.
And we know, and it's such a quick shot. It's such a quick shot. It's in this establishing shot of a club. We know that there's more of it. Release the Zemo cut.
Yeah, I can get on board with this one.
Show Daniel Bruhl doing his lame dance.
Please.
Because he's specifically dancing.
He does his
kinda
little
lame.
dancey dance.
Yeah. He's like, yes, I am an evil super scientist, but also I can get down.
He's doing his little dancey dance.
I think you should know that also I am capable of getting down. Wow.
Please, I'm gonna say it into your mic. Anthony, please stop.
I thought we were getting a regular dog, but Marmaduke is so big.
Anthony, please.
Wow.
Please. He's skiing in place. That's great.
He really is. He's doing the white guy overbite.
All right, we got a couple more things to talk about. It's almost time to end the show.
I think
speed through.
let's end on this next one.
Okay.
Let's end on this next one. What do you say? What do you say? I know.
No, I want to talk about that.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay.
For reason.
Oh, you want to talk about it for a reason?
I have a reason.
Oh, I wanted to hold it for a reason, but that's okay.
Oh.
But let's do.
Okay. Oh no, we can talk about it after.
Let's.
What?
But first, I want to mention that the
We can
Joss
hold-
Whedon story.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to mention this. Blue Pirate stuck that in the ITE Discord.
Great.
Everybody who's sticking stories in the Discord, thank you, and
Thank
we do
you.
use them.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't buy useless things.
Okay.
I'm not a hype beast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get caught up in commercial things.
Yeah.
I don't buy useless stuff, and I don't fill my house with useless stuff.
Nope. Sure don't.
They're
But-
out.
They're out, and I think,
They're available.
are they still available? Did they sell out yet? Because
It says coming back.
yep, they are all sold out.
Wow, they came out yesterday. They sold out sometime after they came out. We knew the Animal Crossing line was coming. We now know that it is just Nook and Isabelle for right now.
Mhm.
But you can do one of two things. You can order them, because you know how the Build-A-Bears have stuff inside of them? Like you either put a
Yeah.
heart inside of it, or you can put like a voice thing inside of it.
Yeah, you got to put a heart.
There are two different versions that you can get of each of these characters. One plays the Animal Crossing theme music, and the other, they talk to you in Animal Crossing speak.
Yep. So there is a Tom Nook 5-in-1 sound, and there is an Isabelle 5-in-1 sound with each of their individual voices. I want an Isabelle with a Tom Nook voice in it. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's all.
Okay,
That's all we can hear.
that's all we can hear.
That's it. I appreciate that because Build-A-Bear is like aimed at children. When you click on an actual like listing for one of them, it's like you're about to visit a shopping site. You understand that you can shop here and that you could spend
This
money.
is a money
right?
you spend.
And I honestly, I wish more sites would do that to me.
I don't know if they can hear that, but
I think they'd be picking it up from your mic.
let's just do this. They talk. They talk. They
that's
say the
great.
thing.
That's wonderful. I love it, and I want one.
Would you get the talkie talk or the
Talk.
theme song? Yeah, I would get the talk.
I would get the talkie talk. Would you get Isabelle or Tom Nook?
Both, but I don't buy useless stuff.
Fair. Yeah, all right.
They're very good. You can sign up on the Build-A-Bear site to be
Notified.
when they come back. And boy, oh boy, God, I love Animal Crossing. Am I jumping back into Animal Crossing?
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Am I jumping back into Animal Crossing, and am I jumping into Valheim? What am I doing?
Probably
with
one
my
or the
life?
other.
What am I doing with my life?
Y'all let us know. Let us know if you're jumping back into Animal Crossing.
What am I doing with my life?
It's a big question, Anthony.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm having an existential crisis. Wow.
The last thing I just want to quickly touch on.
What a big dog.
Is that Yahoo Answers is shutting down. Yahoo Answers is going away. And you know what's odd?
What?
You know what's a complete coincidence?
What?
As someone who plans OTOTI weeks in advance,
You were going to talk about Yahoo Answers.
this is announced on the same week that this Sunday, we were doing a theme of Ask Sites. We're each taking a story around the thriving of Ask Sites on the internet. So, and I'm not kidding that that's actually a coincidence. So, that's why I wanted to just say.
Let me tell you something. Yahoo Answers is a beautiful, unwavering band of light. And it is such a wonderful space on the internet where it's such a mix of trolls and keyboard comedians and dumb kids and Confused adults.
How do you tell if girlfriend is preg or not?
How many calories are there in soap? In the TV show Friends, what was the point of Ross?
These are actual searches.
I do want to mention, these are actual searches, not just that the New York Times found for their article about the end of Yahoo Answers, but from our good friend and friend of the show, Justin McElroy. The New York Times, of course, reached out to the McElroys to ask about the end of Yahoo Answers. Should spaghetti be way shorter?
Why can't we grow burger and tree? I like space and dinosaurs.
Typed in all caps. I accidentally shifted to uppercase. How do I get back to lowercase so my passwords will work?
I kissed a guy a year ago. Is his spit still in my mouth?
Can I bring frozen pizzas in my carry-on or hold in hand?
How old do I have to be to get nunchucks?
Did dragons live before, during, or after dinosaurs?
My boyfriend gave me a 60-count box of waffles for Christmas. He seemed so excited about it, but I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Was that dog Eddie on Frasier a real dog or computer generated?
Ladies, I bring my guitar almost everywhere to impress women. Does this work?
Why doesn't the Grand Canyon have rides? Let me tell you something. That's a great question. I've been to the Grand Canyon. It could use a roller coaster. It could use a ride, like one ride.
One roller coaster that shows you the inside of the canyon.
Doesn't need to be big. Give me some carnival games or something.
These are all so good.
They're all so good. Now, Yahoo Answers, of course, has done a content purge in the past. Back in 2019, they purged like 10 years of content.
Wow.
Something like that, and they restarted from scratch.
How does one get a Weggy board? Do I have to buy it from a witch or a vegan?
If you can get it from someone who's both, it's better. I do wonder, like, where are people going to go now for this? But here's the thing. People weren't going to Yahoo Answers for answers. It was just a weird place now.
No, and I mean, look, I've done a lot of research this week on the history of all kinds of ask sites, including Yahoo Answers, although that is a story the other team is handling. Yahoo Answers was created in a time that people were trying to figure out, in the same way Ask Jeeves was, how to ask questions to the internet because you couldn't just Google them.
Right.
You could just Google a question now. There's no reason to really pose a question to the internet.
Yeah, if you
Google has the answer.
If you Googled a question, 15 years ago, maybe you got a related site. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you got weird porn of whatever you looked up. I miss that internet in a way, but I do like having all of humanity's knowledge at my fingertips.
Right.
Now, there are some, and I'm sure this is something that you're going to touch on the show, but there are some sites that are for very specialized knowledge. There are some things where, like, no matter how much you put them in, you're like, this is not the exact answer to my exact question.
Right. You've got forums for specific things that are better.
Quora is a big one right now, except Quora sucks because they're like, sign up. Every time you go to Quora, it's like, we've got the answer. Sign up to see it. No, Quora. Not worth it. Not worth. But there are a lot of... Is Curious Cat still around?
I don't know. You've got ask.com, which was previously Ask Jeeves.
There's a lot of the thing about Quora is I feel G Soto 83 in the live studio audience says, I feel like Quora is too educated. Quora is a little too educated and a little humorless.
Yeah, I mean, the fun thing about Yahoo Answers is it's just random people answering. It's not a team of people who work for Yahoo Answers answering.
And randos.
Yeah.
The best answers are from randos.
This Yahoo shutting down story was also dropped in our Discord by Rob Bubba.
Thanks, Robaba, and thank you to everybody who is hanging out in the Discord and doing stuff.
Dagger's
we really appreciate it.
Bored of us doing this show.
Oh, you can't see, but he is bored, boy.
Maybe he comes say hello.
Yeah, but he won't look bored anymore.
I know. Hi, my guy. Oh no.
All he wants is for Saige to pay attention to him all the time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
This is how we'll do the outro.
Okay. Come closer to Mike with dog, and we'll do outro. This is Dagger. He's a
Yes.
sweet boy.
He is a sweet boy. Thank you for spending your morning with us. Exactly on time, as always. We will see you, of course, on Friday. Don't forget we do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday
At exactly
8 a.m. Pacific.
Exactly. We've never been late, and we never will. I just want to thank everybody who has been supporting us during the show. You special little BBs, you amazing little pickles. Sack of Sausages, Amazing Bobinski, Brisk Jig 808, Kurt with the $50 donation.
Thank you.
Remy C, Johnny Karate 7, Flannel Fries gifting a sub to Not Mom.
Thank you.
As Joriel with the $50 donation, Mama Faraday with a gift sub to Tom Bidant.
Yep.
I did it.
A look.
Samuel F. Costa, Wimpy Warrior 009, Songkran, Big Papa Smurf gifting 5 subs.
Thank you.
To Miss Joe W, It's a Me Matt, Fractured Avatar 13, G Soto 83, and lots of kittens. 54 Aqua Snakes saying, I get my 300 bits, I get my second COVID shot today. Mazel tov. Ray McVie, It's a Me Matt, Takeshi Kitano 3, E Lackey,
With the sub, thank
Kate
you.
Thick, Takeshi Kitano again, Claire Saffitz, thank you. I don't think it's Claire Saffitz from the Test Kitchen. Thank
no,
you.
probably not.
Thank you all for following, for subscribing, for your donations. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who follows us on the Patreon. Remember that you get bonus content there every week. We give you a little bonus clip.
A little extra.
Um,
Hey, you might be wondering, we've got some very generous donations today. What do those donations do, right? We do this show 3
Hey,
days
girl.
a week entirely
What those donations do?
independently. There is no, all of the money that is made through subscriptions, for instance, keeps the lights on, keeps the channel functioning. Donations go to paying the people who make the show a little something for their time doing it 3 days a week. So we have this goal that we run monthly, and we'll, hopefully slowly get to a place where we can buy ourselves Starbucks after. Cheers. Thank you all, seriously, for your support. There's also a bunch of ways that you can support us if you don't have the ability or desire to financially.
money is a construct, and we understand not wanting to get involved with it.
100%, you can share. You can share the show.
Share the show.
You can let people know when we're live, or you could share a clip that you enjoyed very much, or you could make a clip.
Ooh, we
You can
love
do
that.
You can make a little GIF
Love
if you
that.
wanted to.
Oh my God, it makes my day so much when I see a GIF of myself.
It's true. I've seen it.
Oh my God, I get so excited.
You can join the Discord and you can talk to us there. That's also fun ways to support us. All of those are so appreciated, and also just showing up to watch the show. Your time is the most valuable thing you have.
The most important thing that you do is show up here and watch the show. We make a show so people will enjoy it.
So thank you.
So thank you.
We appreciate you. Anthony, where can they find you on the internet?
Oh my God, so many places on the dark web.
Oh God.
On the dark web, you can find me in many places.
Okay, but where on the regular web?
But if you're on the regular web, you can find me everywhere at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. We're going to try to attempt to stream again today at 4. He's knocking up on wood because the ship of Theseus, it has not been weathering the storm, and hopefully my final component gets here before 4 p.m. But go follow me there so you know when I stream. Also, every Friday, I have a science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. You can find that at wehaveconcerns.com.
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. I'll be live on my channel tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. Doing something. I'm sure.
Something.
I'll be streaming. We'll be hanging out.
On the dark web?
Yeah. I made partner last week.
Hey!
So we're still going to be vibing and celebrating that.
Hey!
And also tomorrow you can find me on the D&D Twitch and YouTube channel for the Black Dice Society. Our second episode is live at 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm very excited about that. In between we have something coming up on the channel. We'll get to that in a moment here. And then on Friday I'll be on Smosh Games for, I don't know if they've announced it yet. But I'll be there. I'll be around. We're doing something a little special.
For the dark web?
No, There's no dark web involved.
dark
at all, actually,
web.
whatsoever.
Join us on the dark web.
No, not at all. Also, I left straight from the show on Monday to go to the Smosh Games set, and we raised over $15,000 for the Asian Law Caucus.
Yay! That's huge.
That's pretty cool.
That's huge.
Just a little celebration for the week. Anyways, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. You're good beans.
Cowboy D&D?
Oh yeah, after this, a little bit after this, at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, because I remember times, the final episode of Dogwoods and Dust Bowls, which was supposed to be a 4-part series, but due to some technical difficulties, you get one more bonus episode. Congratulations. Come and watch that. It's led by the lovely Rachel Seeley. The cast is incredible. It is such a fun show. I am so proud of these people for being willing to share their creative on our channel. So go enjoy that. Does it have to be the final episode? It's definitely the final episode for now. But if you want to see more, let us know. Thank you for that follow. That's the thing, is you can always let us know. We are always working on new things and trying to find ways to let our friends be creative. That's what the channel's here for. So...
Yeah, we want to get weird. If you want to see us get weird, that's cool. Hang out in the Discord and tell us to get weird. We'll do it. We love you. Goodbye, BBs.
Bye, BB.
Goodbye.